All right, for the very latest, let's now welcome legal analyst Mr. Melusi Xulu. Melusi, a very good afternoon to you, sir. Welcome. So, in a nutshell, talk to us about Zuma-Sambudla's not guilty plea today. So, going forward, what is incumbent upon the state to prove their case against her?
Sanwan Alicia to the viewers at home, apologies. What is important by the state is to prove that, first of all, she has three charges against her. It's the act of terrorism and two counts of inciting public violence. So basically, when it comes to terrorism, they need to prove that she had a manner of unlawfulness when it came to stating that there must be violence against certain people to achieve a certain political agenda, in summary. But when it comes to political violence, it's that through the words that she spoke, she is the one that incited the July unrest, or she was one of those who incited the July unrest by the words she spoke on Twitter, for example, or X account. For example, when she says, or allegedly, the state is saying, when she say, "We see you," that kind of link to a public violence. But what is important is that it must be clear that what she said could be interpreted to say there must be an incitement of violence. So this is very key. I will bring you back to a case that we followed in about 2 years back, Dangizwe case Dangizwe, when he said Askale, where the state was saying, by saying Askale, it was as if it was inciting violence. First of all, I think there are two things. We must interpret what the person is saying, and secondly, whether what the person is saying did reach a certain specific number of people that incited violence, which I think for me personally at this stage, I think is very unclear how they're going to link what she said to the public violence. Yes, there was public violence, but can they say she is the one that incited people to commit public violence? I think that is key. But as the case unfolds, we will see what the social media experts will associate, because they are also there in this case.
I actually wanted to delve a bit deeper into that because I had my own understanding of that. But thank you for that clarity there, Melusi. All right, so let's draw. I know you made a similar example about the Ngizwe Mkhunu case, but so let's draw a very different distinction here. That Malema was accused of inciting violence through the Kill the Boer chant, right? And Dudu Zuma's argument could be she never directly called for acts of violence, as you've just alluded to. We heard the tweet that was actually quoted in court during the proceedings where she says it's time to, I'm paraphrasing, to basically not be keyboard warriors. How would then the court make a consideration in this regard as a direct incitement of violence?
Okay, quote unquote, she said, isikhathi sokusebenzisa umakhalakhukhwini sesiphelile. Akungasasetshenziswa umakhalakhukhwini, meaning it's time, as you say, to stop being keyboard warriors and using cell phones. We must do more. But the do more now is open-ended. It's not specific, because I think what the state must do to that point, they must prove that when she's saying they must stop using cell phones only, or being social media activists, so to speak. This is what she was saying when she was saying they must do more, because Advocate Paul for SC did ask the question. I think he read it from paragraph 24, and he asked Governor and said, by saying this, did it necessarily mean that it was a dangerous way of speaking? Was it something that showed that there must be violence? Was it violent? And he admitted that it's not necessarily violent. So I hope, and I'm being circumspect when I'm saying this, I hope for the state is not a fishing expedition, so to speak. I hope it must be specific, because if it's not, it will be unfortunate, because they will be wasting a lot of time trying to chase something that is there. But I'm not saying the case is not there. I'm saying the states must ensure that the resources are used properly, because once you say, for instance, the fact that you say you mustn't use cell phones, but you're not saying that by saying that it means it's an incitement to violence. I mean, it really doesn't make sense why then they will say that this is a criminal act if they are saying that. And also, remember, there are 164 WhatsApp groups, and I think 8 were mentioned in this case. And there's not one link of those WhatsApp groups to Duduzile Zuma-Sambudla. So what we need is we need direct evidence. We don't need speculations, because when a criminal matter is done, we always repeat this, Alicia, you must prove your case beyond reasonable doubt. Once there's doubt, then the benefit must be given to that case.
Melusi, unfortunately, we're out of time. I was going to ask you if, of course, what would then be the possible punishment should she be found guilty? Would it be any jail time or even be a fine? But we're going to leave it there, Melusi. We're going to leave it to speculation at this stage. That is Mr. Melusi Xulu, a legal analyst there weighing in on the case of Duduzile Zuma-Sambudla, who pleaded not guilty on charges of incitement of violence during the 2021 July riots.